everybody. And there is Claude in the garden. So it is really cool to be out here and watch Claude explore the jungle here. That is nice. I mean, he is really just kind of came out here right when I started the live, and he knows that something's going on, and he seems to be looking at something. Hey, Lemon, great to see you. Yeah, he is watching the jungle, and he is observing something, which I think is pretty cool. And yeah, he is a cat with alien senses. He will be, of course, patrolling the garden because that's what he likes to do. And with his special alien sensors, he's able to tell us what's going on, what's not going on. You went to a place earlier. Okay. Let's see. That's cool. General. Oh, great. That's really awesome. I like that. Yeah, I am here. I see it. Yeah, it does look similar to where I am. Yeah, it is a fascinating jungle. There's a hut. I see it. And a bunch of different plants growing around there, similar to where I am. Okay, the forest is going to be similar to that. Okay, that's cool. Yeah, and okay, and he's just here gonna talk to us. The cat, he's gonna enjoy the live with us. Okay, yeah, it's pretty cool. And let's see. Oh, that's a nice palm tree, right there. It's definitely very cool. It's because people here. Yeah, you're waiting for your chance to go there. Yeah, a lot of people here will get palm trees like that and plant them in their yards. So over there, they're just growing where they want to grow. Yeah. Hey, now he's going through the back area. Okay. Yeah, I like the pictures of the palm tree and the flowers. That's really nice. He sees something. He's a little hunter. Oh, those are some pretty cool trees. I haven't really seen them really much before. Okay, I like those trees. I've had trees similar to that when I was little, before some flood ruined it. Yeah, I like that batch. Let's see the next one. Yeah, I was just looking because we had during the war, those are some banana trees. In World War II, a lot of famous people fought in World War II when they were in the Philippines. And so that's exactly what they would have seen. Yeah. Yeah, I like the banana trees. It's very nice nature. Okay. Oh, and there's a cow, or some sort of ox. I'm not. I might be getting them mixed up, but I like that. I saw that in another picture you showed. He's just chilling in the grass in the rice fields, and he always has his. It's cute. He likes to eat his. A water buffalo. Okay. Okay. Yeah, water buffalo. And because I'm thinking it's not a cow, it's some sort of ox, or it's a water buffalo. Okay. Yeah, and I'm sure it does, a lot of hard work in the field. It's very, good to have. comes in handy. And yeah, 'cause I remember that in the other one. He's still looking out from different areas. And let's see. Yeah, thanks for showing that. That's really, really cool. And yeah, very similar, as I said, to my neck of the woods. My region's um like a version of where you are. Yeah, because America has different types of terrains, and they so yeah, we just have an identical type of terrain. Now, where I am, they have lots of winters and snow and sometimes, but uh, it's nearly pretty much identical to like, because I could say like I'm in the Philippines right now, and then people would believe it because it definitely seems like it. So yeah, I appreciate the pictures. I like to see what people are doing in their different regions they're in, because we have a global audience. Okay, he's going through this tundra. Oh, he's going deep into the jungle region right there. That is very mysterious. So Claude is going deep in the jungle, and he is going to be probably hunting a little of a tree rat. That's what he's most likely after. Because see, he didn't like. I always use that pathway, but he wanted to go just right in there. Good morning, Saw. Welcome to the stream. Yeah, and Claude just went into the alien jungle, probably to go get a tree rat. And I take this path because I'm scared. Right? And everything is growing, and we have lots of we have some dragonflies. Not as many, and we have a nice breeze. So a lot of times when someone's like roaming around and there's a breeze happening. Oh, hello, C17. Oh, welcome back. Yeah, it is. The aliens are around here, besides myself, because I'm an alien. The other aliens are somewhere in these woods, lurking around. Yes, it was very grassy in the picture. It's certainly like a scene when they used to go through those jungles, and they'd have machetes, and sometimes, later on in the Vietnam War, they would have the other types of machines that would drop the unfortunate Agent Orange. Whoa, that's something else flying around. Well, what's this? But that was used much later. But yeah, the World War II, they used a lot of machetes. I'm sure they use other things that I'm just basing off my knowledge. But yeah, it's definitely lots of a tundra to go through. But yeah, the aliens are up in the sky. I'm also one, and they're in here somewhere. So sometimes I'll see those eyes stare back at me from the void. And so yeah, and recently there was an alien file release, which is really cool. Yes. Okay, so Skinwalker Ranch, I believe, is true. The Skinwalkers, in my view, are certainly something that people, from what I have known from people on the show, have talked about them also. And the Skinwalkers are extremely active, because you see there's a moth, right? That's what we're seeing right here. It's a moth. The moth is on me. Moth live stream. Oh, holy Mark. Yeah, he's enjoying the light. Now he's on the phone. It's funny. He is all over me. That is really cool. Yes, it's a cool moth butterfly. Yeah. And yeah, so now it's back on me again, right there. He is just enjoying the stream. Yeah. Yeah, because the skinwalkers, they're the shapeshifters, and people have seen them before. While they're walking home, they'll see a weird animal, like a weird deer that's not really a deer. And they even are against talking about them, but here we have to tell the world what's going on. Now, for those that don't know or just want to hear the story again, what a skinwalker is exactly, they're from the Navajo folklore, but people have seen them all over the world, okay, in different countries, etc. And look at Claude. There he is. He came back. Yeah, he definitely sees something. Okay, and they transform and they possess and they do possessing. They are originating from witches, right? So it's a form of witchcraft. Unlike many other types of cryptids that we talk about on the channel, that entity is human witches, and they use a very powerful sorcery to transform themselves into different animals. Even through Christianity, there are, which, the Christian Bible talks about demons going into pigs, and the pigs get, they ask to be thrown off a cliff, right? So that's something that I think is very important for people to understand, is that through the different mythologies, which I don't believe that, I'm a Christian, so I don't believe it's a myth. I believe it's true. But just theologically speaking, I should say, is that, yeah, they can have association with animals. But this is something, a shape-shifting into an animal completely. So I think that is a wild one, indeed. But yeah, they could disguising or possessing. They either possess an animal or disguise themselves as an animal. It is still on me. All right, I remember one time when I was a kid, a cat that used to come to my home and stuff had kittens, old ripped up sofa of all things. It was pretty normal yellow sofa and was kind of worn down over the years, and thus was eventually moved to the garage because it was too old. Yeah, we have furniture like that here that's similar. I've dealt with that before. And you could have like a sofa. Sometimes it's a chairs. I have chairs that are a couple hundred, not 100 years old, but they're very old. They're probably gonna be like over 100 years old. Yeah, but the chairs last longer, but the foam stuff definitely wears out. And see, and then the local stray cats come and scratched it up even more and made it smell like a country cat smell. Yes, cats will gladly tear up pretty much anything that you have like sofas and stuff. Like we put things on sofas so the cats won't go and tear them up because they love to scratch up everything. And in Navajo, the Yi now Dolushi, it translates to it goes all fours. And Mark says, I heard a moth is associated with ancestors. Oh, very interesting. Very interesting. Yeah, I believe that's true. It could be somebody else came to visit us, an ancestor came to visit us. Yeah. Like, I'm not lying when I say it smelled like you pressed your face up against a cat's stomach and gave it a big whiff. Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about with a cat smell. They give off a certain scent. And the sofa with all the cat concentrations would give that off. Yeah. And because I've done that many times. And the abilities of the Skinwalker, they're believed to have powers to turn into coyotes, wolves, foxes, bears, or birds. And they will and said to use animal pelts for their transformations and utilize corpse dust made from human bones to inflict harm and curses on their victims. So the Skinwalker definitely is ruthless, and that's what they usually do. So they, say if someone's in the woods and they see a little fox come around here, but it's a weird fox and it's talking, it's not really a fox. It's something disguised as a fox. So that is how that works. The indigenous magic and spirituality, they are deeply feared in the legends. They treat it with extreme seriousness. Navajo and neighboring southwestern native cultures, discussing them outside is largely considered highly inappropriate and bad luck. But we're doing it for educational purposes. But I am just aware of that. And this thing is, the moth is still there. Also, moths, butterflies here are associated with dead relatives coming back to visit you. Oh, yes, that's very cool. That's very cool. So show whoever this is, welcome. Nice to see you again. Welcome, relative. The reincarnation, yes, yes, I see. And that is very cool. And I have heard of that too, where I am as well. And the anthropologists and folklore experts classify these skinwalkers and legend as part of the witchery way category of cultural belief of focusing on sorcery that opposes the healing practices of traditional medicine men. They delete close family members to gain their supernatural abilities. That's very similar to Voldemort. He had to delete people to become immortal. And also like Michael Myers. Yeah. So that's what the skinwalkers do. And as I said, I believe that with the, it looks like a skinwalker could just come right through here. But, that's what we think. And with the skinwalker, yeah, I believe that they do have witchcraft, those that do that. I believe that they're out there, definitely. Lemon said, like I've had instances where big brown moths come around and start flying around the lights in my home. Well, not really my home because it used to belong to my grandma. And brown is my grandma's favorite color. So, is that a coincidence or is it my grandma really visiting me in the form of a moth? Yeah, I believe that it could be them or a sign from them or some higher power as a sign from them. I believe it is either them or a gift from them. Yeah, definitely. Because I don't think it's a coincidence. I believe it's a sign, that they came back in another form to see you. And brown is my grandma's favorite color. That's a coincidence. Yeah, so yeah, I believe that was her visiting you, in my opinion. Yeah. See, I think a lot of times, spirituality, they were extremely important to see not coincidences, but see things as they are, right? That it's actually a sign of something, which I think is pretty cool. Where my relatives have seen butterflies or moths and things of signs of relatives that have passed. So, yeah, I definitely think it's not a coincidence, but definitely means of their presence. Because I believe that they never really truly leave us and they are here in another way. And I believe in God and a higher power. For the people don't have to believe, but I believe in a higher power. And just there's karma stuff in the universe where things come around, right? And there's more to it than what we think. And you have situations like that happen where you have them do that. So yeah, I absolutely think it's cool and a great way of encouragement. Yeah, and also the moth is still hanging out, having a good time. And hold on, I'm gonna get some water real quick. Okay, Lemon. Okay, and Mark says, what do you think of peacock feathers? I think peacock feathers are very colorful and vibrant. It's extremely cool to see them because they are iconic and make excellent natural decorations in a way, the way they look, or a good picture. And I think it's a very classic for a peacock to do peacocking with its feathers. Now, I have a story about peacocks. So, there was one time a peacock came and when I was at the zoo when I was little, when I was like still in a stroller, the peacock saw my mom and me and started darting at us, and we got chased by a peacock. So I think that the peacock's very interesting because I've been chased by one before, and I remember it too. I was in a stroller, but I remembered it. Yeah, that incident, and it made me scared. So that was like a funny episode, but it was also kind of scary. Feathers have an eye on it, and our family doesn't like them. Oh, okay. Yeah, the scared. So I was chased by one before. I was chased by a peacock. And the thing about the peacocks is that they can be very aggressive, the male ones. And, they obviously with peacocking, but they're very beautiful looking, but they could be very aggressive. And the eyes are kind of scary because it's like the eyes are looking into your soul. And the eyes are like staring at you and not showing mercy or holding back. Yeah, it's almost like they have like an evil eye on them. Yeah, and that is the thing about peacocks. One of my friends has a peacock. It's like a exotic bird. I think they are, because I've had my experience with them too. So that's my thoughts on peacocks. When I was in school, the wallpaper of the computer was a peacock feather. The all-seeing eye. Skirt. A lot of times, the way the birds are designed are to repel predators and to be flashy. It's real funny. Thus the term peacocking when someone's like trying to brag about something. That's the term of peacocking, and it is quite hilarious that they do that. Mark says we were getting a photo with a donkey and it started eating my sister's jacket and my uncle punched it in the nose. Scared. Yeah, that had to be a real. That would have been on America's Funniest Videos or on YouTube. And the donkey started eating the sister's jacket. Yeah, that donkey was needed to control itself. It could be a hungry donkey, but he needs to keep himself under control. Yeah. My friend, the same farm friend, she has a donkey, and it looks like Shrek. It looks like Shrek's donkey. So a donkey from Shrek was trying to eat the sister's jacket. Well, he needed to bring his surplus packets, but he forgot them. Now he's trying to eat clothes, and he doesn't even realize that he's up his rear end, and he's now has to get a new nose. He dozed off big time, and he will regret it. He will regret it, and that is something else that I think is the lessons learned from the Eos, the donkeys in Eos. Yeah, you see, those moments are just so precious that, in that moment, you never know what can happen, but there's moments like that you always remember and as a funny memory or cherish it. So yeah, life will have its moments, like it has its ups and downs, and I think that is what makes it the circle of life. And yeah, I definitely think that like goats, for instance, eat anything. Goats like to eat everything and anything that you have. That is something fascinating about them. we were looking at a camera and my father saying, "Say cheese." That's what I was told too, especially when I was little. They would tell us to say cheese and before you're taking a picture. And it was taking a picture over something, they say cheese. And I want to say ahoy. That's what I want to say. Ahoy. Okay, and so yeah, it's funny like when you take a picture and that's what they do. Yeah. So something was on my face, and it was this thing. Right. Sometimes Vines will pull a prank on you and make you think somebody's there, like tickling you, but it's actually not really that. It's the Vine itself doing it. Okay, and we have surpluses of okra that are growing. Okay, oh, have I tried blue vein cheese? Okay, so with blue vein cheese is one of my favorite cheeses. When I eat the okra salad, it is blue vein cheese. That's definitely what it is. And it smells like vomit. Now, I had blue cheese. Now, blue vein cheese is something totally different. I may have missing what you're saying. But I've had regular blue cheese, but if blue vein cheese is something totally different, I didn't have it yet. But yeah, yeah, it does in general smell weird because you see blue cheese is mold. That's what it is. It's very moldy. But it's good mold. It's like the life of milk. Oh yeah, I think it's very delicious. It's very delicious because you see with the moldy cheese, I mean the blue cheese, it has a very unique taste to it and good texture. So lemon, I'm not familiar with that cheese. Tell me about it. I I'm sure that is something that's practiced. I suppose because some people eat exotic, I mean, strange things, but I'm not familiar with that. And Marzu, okay, yeah, I figured it was something like that. It's something I'm not completely familiar with. Let's see. Sardinian sheep milk cheese that contains live fly maggots. The larvae in cheese's fly are deliberately introduced with pepperoni cheese. Rotten cheese. Wow, that's incredible. Yep. Yeah, that's true. It's true. There we go. It's maggot cheese. Hey, people eat some weird things. People eat some crazy things sometimes. In Italy, my it's from me. It's from my I'm part Italian, so it's from my people do it. Okay, I'm sure they do. Okay, The larvae of the cheese fly are deliberately introduced to pecoronio cheese, where their digestive action produces an actual level of fermentation, including breakdown of the cheese's fat and cheese's texture to soften the liquid teardrop. It is possible that the larva could survive in the intestines, causing enteric uh, pseudolemesias, which can manifest in nausea, vomiting, gastro upset. However, no cases have been linked to the cheese. Wow. Additionally, these larvae can carry harmful microorganisms that may lead to infections. Due to these risks, Italian authorities have banned the sale of this cheese, demanding dangerous consequences for those that do it. Okay, so there we go. My ancestors and my cousins were into some edgy type of eating, because I know when I was little, I went to uh, the insectarium, and it was like, okay, there's bugs, right? And then this other thing that happened was at the insectarium, they had these bug candies, right? It was real bugs and candy. And people were like, "You want to eat it, boy?" I'm like, "Nah, I'm good, cuz. I'm good." And one of my friends, he was, real adventurous. He went and ate it. I'm like, "Well, good for him." I wasn't gonna go. I wasn't gonna go eat that. And they had a big picture on the wall of some person in like some Asian country eating a giant, uh, what's it called, a black widow. Like, these people, like, it was news to me when they say bugs. That was news to me. I'm like, you couldn't, when you thought you saw it all, you see that. Yeah. Oh, there's that mockingbird. Mark says, hoo grubs are nice apparently. I'm too scared to try New Zealand bush food. Okay. Yeah, as I said, they eat some exotic things. Scared, and yeah, I mean, I know people had to survive, and they ate whatever they was there. But taking there's new political movements where they want us to eat bugs and live in pods. But the other people that were living off the land, they really lived off the land. Like, they were like, the bugs are on my dinner plate. Like, somebody was like in a yard like this, and they're like, you know what? Let's eat some maggots, some cheese, or like, let's eat some bugs. It had to be some. It said very venturous. Yeah, as I said, I don't really. Um, I mean, I eat crawfish, or people call crawdads, whatever, and some people think those things are gross. I mean, everybody has their own cup of tea. So we're gonna come down here and look at see how our plants are doing. Okay. It tastes like peanut butter. Okay. I like how things could just taste like stuff like that. Whoa, this thing's like an anchor. Take it off. Okay, make sure it's all closed. Little fun fact, we eat mantis shrimp here. Oh, cool. Oh, that's cool. Okay. Let's see. I landed in the wrong location. Go a little bit over here. Whoa. Oh. We'll be very quick. Okay, so we're gonna put the camera right here. Hey, chat. that is a cucumber, and it's getting ready. It's getting there, and we're just watching them closely because they're just all of a sudden, and that's one right there. All of a sudden, they're just gonna one blink of an eye get huge, and they're gonna be so. If we're gonna get them before they start bloating, I mean they start ripening. Oh, okay. It's yummers. Yeah. Some people can't eat shellfish, and some religions don't eat shellfish. And I don't know. Maybe that's the best way to go. But where I am, seafood's the thing to do where I am. Okay. And because the people that were here in these swamps, that's all they had. Like they were like those swamp people. They're alligator hunting and stuff. And then there's other people that were. This is like a city, so they had some more stuff, but it was still kind of desolate. And that is a pumpkin crawling up a tree. Okay. Because I didn't know what these were at first, but they're actually cucumbers. It's pretty cool. All right. We're going to take the hat off and put this big thing back on. Because we have to check our food. Like the okra is doing brilliant. It's like that okra every day is producing flowers. Every day, this thing's producing flowers and okras. Every day. It's like a bush of okra. It's like going insane. Right, and our tomato plant's doing good too. Yeah, because sometimes, with food allergies, can happen. Like, there's a lot of people that are allergic to peanut butter. And when people are allergic to peanut butter, it'll be quite interesting because they can't eat anything with peanuts or peanut butter in it, and they have to have a whole episode. Which, I mean, it's like when people have an episode, it means that, they get sick or something, so they have to watch what they eat. Yeah, that is a good question. It probably was discovered when they were going deep in a hole and then something broke, and that's what it was. And okay, so humans first discovered oil thousands of years ago as a natural surface seeps. Early civilizations like the Babylonians and Egyptians used this sticky crude to waterproof boats, build modar, and preserve mummies. The modern oil industry, however, began in the 19th century when pioneers discovered how to refine crude oil into lamps. Oh, in high school, someone all over the place and the stars. Yeah, you see, there's people like that, and they don't want to take personal accountability, and they try to blame it on someone else. Yeah. Yeah, you see, Lemon, they were trying to gaslight you. The Dookie boy was trying to gaslight you. That's what was happening. All right, before modern drilling, people relied on expensive, dwindling whale oil for lights. In 1840, scientists like Scottish chemist James Young and Canadian geologist Abraham Gesner developed ways to distill liquid lamp fuel kerosene from coal and shale natural oil seeps. Lemon, that's good. You wouldn't do that because a lot of people just they don't want to take personal accountability and they'll do something messed up as a prank or whatever and they try to blame it on someone else. In 1859, on August 1959, Edwin Drake successfully drilled the world's first commercial oil well using salt drilling technology. He struck oil in a depth of just 69.5 feet in Pennsylvania. This kicked off the massive rush of rock oil to fuel the labyrinth. By 1900, there was a global boom. Yeah, kerosene is jet fuel. Yes. You know, they found it through seeps, and then the seeps got bigger. And they're able to do it by... the pioneers discovered it in the 1800s. Over in Australia, there's lots of gold and silver mining. And oil and stuff there. Lemon said, I assume this was the same person who smeared dookie on the walls and did that in one of the stalls flushing. It happened more than once. Yeah, the person seems like they had a problem. And they just were also maybe pulling a sick prank. And they were gaslighting. Things like that happen at my school too. Not as severe of what you saw, but the school would have deleted people. Yeah, they would have started deleting people. But yeah, there are some instances like that. And, you know, it's pretty cringe. They have no equity or manners or anything. They just want to cause... they either have some sort of problem, they want to cause more destruction. And this pumpkin leaf is getting big. Getting really big. Let's see. Is it producing anything yet? Not so far. Okay. Oh, okay, Lemon. Understood. Yeah, and the Navajo people take, you know, the skinwalker topic very seriously, and a lot of times when we have people on the show, we understand that they think it's a bad omen to talk about And I personally do believe that it's important for people to know about and be educated about these things because it is good for, like, if you're gonna see like a fox or some sort of creature as like walking to your house and he's doing something weird, it's best that we somehow know about it. And a lot of times when people will go and absorb the different knowledge information about it, they could be more prepared if they were to encounter something strange, because it just makes you, we don't want people to be too freaked out, but it's good to have some form of hypervigilance to protect yourself and your surroundings. See, those stories where children are raised by dogs in bushes, there are many. Oh, there are these stories. Yeah, there are stories out there about children, their kinder, that are raised by wolves, are dogs, are wild animals. And these kids, these people, they walk on all fours. And when this happens, when they walk on all fours, they like intend to be extremely, like an animal. They can walk on all fours, they growl and talk like an animal, and they communicate like animals. So they understand the animal language. So it's like a hybrid situation where the human, like, becomes, the mind becomes like the wild animal, like the dog or whatever, or the wolf. And I have seen shows and documentaries about that. It's a fascinating phenomenon to study how the human mind, under different circumstances, adapts to its environment, like the natural selection and the survival instincts that these individuals will have. And there is no question about that. I just think it's uh, something I never expected to see, but I did see information about that over time. Oh yeah, Mark. Oh, we're talking about the Aussie case, where the dingo allegedly ate the kid, and yeah, it must have been a really hungry dingo. I agree. That story's kind of fishy. It makes me scared because it's like when a story doesn't make any sense, it's like they're trying to wee on my leg and tell me it's raining. That's basically like sometimes these cases can be. But yeah, it must have been a really hungry dingo. I thought dogs would be hungry. Yeah, they would be hungry. But it does seem that sometimes they can make friends with what they're hungry for. So that is something else that I think is a fascination. Like, you have a lot of times when these types of entities, these if it's a dingo or whatever, they will either not devour a person or they'll do something completely unpredictable. Oh, Mark, I know they found the clothes. It was not guilty. I know. I just have my suspicions about that case. But I understand it was not guilty, and I respect the verdict. And as I said, it's a real hungry dingo. Yeah. It's just sometimes cases don't always make sense. Like there could be a verdict of not guilty. I don't agree with it, or there's a verdict of guilty. I don't agree with. So, but I hear you. It's the dingo was not a charitable dingo. It was not a dingo that was looking for taking care of a young person. It was a dingo ready for some food. So the dingo should have just came to my garden and we would have given him some food. And it would have left the cats alone because I would have had enough to give him where he wouldn't want to eat the cats. You know, the thing about a dingo is that it reminds me of a raccoon. I mean, I guess it reminds you of a fox. Not a raccoon. It reminds you of a fox. You know, because over America and Europe, there are dingoes around. I mean, there's foxes around in all kinds of different forms. Oh, good morning, Miss C. Welcome to the stream. And the okra is growing all over the place right now. It is wild, indeed. Yeah, so it's kind of cool how different. Yes, it was a while to solve. Yes, absolutely. And yeah, there is just all kinds of things that. Oh, that is great, Judy, that you got some of the patty pan squash ready. That's great. That's great. Right. And there's more of these things coming up of the cucumbers, and they're here. We just saw them a moment ago. See, like right here, there's more cucumbers. Oh, fry soy sauce. Oh, that is delicious. And you are correct. When you have it directly from the garden, it's far more superior than having anything from the grocery store. And the okra that I've been eating has been very good too. A nice healthy snack and food to eat. Yeah. Oh, look who it is. It's Claude. Got tomatoes, gonna have to give him away. Can't eat tomatoes anymore. Oh, okay. Well, great. You have more to give to other people. That's so great when you have an abundant harvest where you give it to others. Yeah, it is very acidic. Yeah. It's hiding in the artichokes. You know, he's definitely the king of this jungle. Yeah, and there's the Claudster. Well, no, it's not actually the Claudster. He must have moved past. Oh, okay. Crowded. Okay. Yeah, that could happen. I know. I thought that too, but they're fruit. Yeah, plutonically. And the root plants are good because they're all like in the ground. Yeah. And these root plants, similar to potatoes, are good. All producing more in the ground. Yeah. Oh, okay, that's fine. Yeah, do what's best for you because you don't need to try things and eat things that are not good for you right now. Maybe later you'll be able to do it. Yeah. But I like tomatoes. They're very good in a lot of dishes if they can be eaten. It definitely does add to the flavor. Oh, you could eat Alfredo. That's good. Yeah, I had some of that recently. It's very delicious. I'm glad you're able to still eat that. Yeah. Yeah, the tomatoes definitely being acidic don't help. Yeah, sometimes it's like you eat some things and not other things. Yeah, and I hear that mockingbird in a distance. Always comes out around the same time. My favorite spaghetti and meatballs. And my family's very good at making that type of food. They've done it for a long time. And yeah, the spaghetti, and it's a classic food, but it's very good. It's done well and traditionally. And here is Claude again. He has come back. That's great. Oh, you couldn't believe the hung jury verdict. Yeah. Yeah, it's very wild. Yeah, as I said, sometimes the jury can have a bunch of surprises. Yes, Venus flytrap. I remember I saw a play of the Venus flytrap when I was growing up, and it was scary, but it was good. I mean, I had a Venus, flytrap. It's very clever how it works. See the Claudster. Okay, this is a spot. It's very breezy right now. It's nice. Now he's marking his chair. He's going to lay there. And there's Bubbles. There's him. Miss C, I have noticed that a lot. That they don't get a lot of justice. Is just the thing is with these juries, the way that their arguments are articulated, they're not really getting the justice that they're supposed to be getting. They do get it sometimes, but not all the time. So it's really unfortunate. That's why, yes, I'd feed my plant. That's true. Yeah, I know. It's like they either be deleted or they need to be in there for much longer. And someone else could do like a more minor offense and get longer time. So, yeah, I just think that it's Timu lawyers doing their thing and juries being Timu too. It's definitely the kids need justice more than what they're getting. Yeah, because like when you're assessing something, you have to make sure that. Oh no, I know exactly what he meant, and I did feed the plant with flies and other flying things. Yeah, I fed it with flies and stuff. It was entertaining. The Venus flytrap was very mellow. Like it just chilled there and just ate everything. Yeah, yeah, there are alien plants. Scared. Yeah, yeah. You see, the alien plants. I remember the time where the Venus flytrap in the play was like eating people, and then the people came out and were part of the Venus flytrap, and I was like, "Whoa, that's crazy." Oh, I got picked for jury. There were 50 people in the room to choose from. Oh, I know. I got picked too. There was a big jury pool, and they filter everybody out. And out of 7 people, I was one of them. So, yeah, I know what that's like. Yeah, it's like that time when you're a little bit too lucky and you get picked for something. Yeah, it's hilarious. Yeah, and the interesting thing about those juries is that, well, my experience when I went, I liked it. It was pretty cool. And they give you free lunch, and you could choose, like what kind of lunch that you get and stuff. So that is a factor that I thought was very neat. Mine had lots of snacks. And the snacks are something that I certainly would like to have again. It was just a lot of popcorn and candy and different things. It was like a Halloween treat, an early Halloween treat. And I'm, a trial junkie. I'm a what's called, trial addict. So I was good with the trials when I was in that trial, and I helped the other jurors understand how this stuff works. Although I was never a juror before, I understand how this stuff works and just kind of help direct the audience. Yeah. Oh, okay, Miss T. I'm glad that you got out of it. Yeah, and I just got involved in it, and I got into debate with the attorney and the DA. I was very vocal. I was talking to both of them, and I was the one that got picked. I just anywhere I go, if I'm in a YouTube chat or in real life, I draw people in, and they get curious about me and pick me for things. So, as I said, like in real life, it's similar to being like in a YouTube chat in real life. Yeah. It's important to go by the evidence that's presented in the case. A lot of times, because when you're, oh, that's good, Miss C, that they give you a time where you don't have to do it anymore. Yeah, and they had Johnson. It wasn't Johnson. It was like John and John's food. It was said a really a good dinner. I mean, a good lunch. Oh no, okay. Got him meds from ChewyDog.com. Oh, that's good. All right, the case I was on got thrown out, so it was a waste of time. Oh. He can't be doing that to Mark, wasting his time like that. Valuable time that could be used for sailing the high seas. In the trial that they had, they were talking about if you're related to any kind of police officers. And the people that were connected to police officers were taken off. Yeah. People excited that they get picked for a case, so that was sick. Oh, people were excited they got picked for the SA case, and it was sick. Oh, yeah, yeah. That definitely is a sick case and a mentally tolling one to be a part of. SA, yeah, of the P files. I know what you're talking about, and I think that is very gross. And disturbing for many audiences. Like, I think excited would be a little bit odd to be excited for that trial. It would be a dreadful thing to, be a part of. So yeah, I'm sure it was disturbing even being there in the courtroom. All right, so communication breakdown, it's always the same. Having another breakdown, no, it's the same. Yes. Yeah, and a lot of times it's like an endless loop of cringe. You're definitely hearing those birds. That's good. Arg, happy Monday. Yes. Where we are, it's Sunday. But yeah, happy Monday to you. Oh yeah, Miss C, actually going through that would be very traumatic for them to endure. So yeah, I'm sure after that, they weren't really thrilled about being there anymore. Yeah, it's so cool how some people in parts of the world are in the future, and we're like in the past. That's pretty cool. And birds, bees, and bugs and butterflies and Bella the cat. And that's the whole Monday starter kit right there. Is birds, bees, bugs, butterflies, and Bella the cat. Yeah. And shout out to Bella the cat. Very cool cat. Got some more breeze coming through. Nice summer breeze. Mark, that's most of the ones that we see. People need counseling afterwards. We're watching Apodaca. And, the thing about Apodaca is that the judge was explaining he had a incident where somebody he knew, or like as a juror, was in the trial, and the person was traumatized from being in the trial. So the judge made very clear if any juror has a problem with it or needs counseling, they need to get the professional help, and the court was going to help them. And he's talked to somebody that was in a case that had a bad memory from it. So a lot of times cases can be very traumatic. I remember trials and a trial chat can make people traumatized, and we have to be there for each other and strengthen each other. I just act like I see the pics, not see them. Oh, yeah, yeah. Yeah, it's, a lot of times with cat pics, they have the cutest poses, but they really can have an attitude to them in a way also. And said, like with juries, people have to be honest in the voir dire. And I like the examples they use. Like in the trial that I was in, they use an example of having a cat in a box with a mouse. And mouse is gone, the cat's still there. We could assume that there was the cat eating the mouse, but we don't really know for certain. It could have been aliens or something. You never know. So, yeah, anything's possible, but there's something more likely than another thing. It's a good examples, that are given, and you're taking trial pictures. Okay, I thought you meant something else. Okay. Now I'm on page with you, Missy. Okay, see. I just act like I see the pics, but not see them. Oh, okay, I see what you mean about the trial pictures. Yeah, like acting as if you see the pictures, but you didn't really see them. Yeah, and in a trial, the pictures that are taken really can help with a case. Like with the Johnny Depp trial, for instance, you had Amber Heard that was talking about all this nonsense, and the pictures were stupid. The pictures were just her with makeup on, and it wasn't really what was occurring. Because she could talk about this dude with these rings on and hitting somebody as hard as they can, and it leaves like a little mark. It's not really accurate. Good morning, Brig. Welcome to the stream. Exactly, Mark. Because a lot of times with a jury, juries can be threatened at times, and it could be cringe. All right. So speaking of cryptids, all right, Miss C. Thank you for hanging out with us. It was nice talking to you. All right. So with cryptids, the Jabba Fufi is a lesser known cryptid that is essentially a giant spider. Like the Mokali, and it is a native to Congo in Africa, and the environment climate is ripe to support creatures of such magnitude. I read Happy Monday above and had a slight panic attack for a second. Oh, yeah, Brig. Yeah, where we are, it's Sunday. Scared. All right, and there's something called the Fresno night crawlers and loveland frogs. Relic population of big cats, beast of Bray Road, black eye kids, dogman, shallow people, pre-Columbian giants, the Hopkinsville goblins, will o' the wisp. Those are some cryptids that apparently are around our country. Did you see about the 9 police who saw the Hillary video all brown breed? Okay, yeah, I see the Hillary video. There's something corrupted going on. They're not going to necessarily get in trouble for it. Actually, Andrew Tate and his brother were arrested yesterday at some point, and I don't know really enough about the situation, but there's a lot of people that did things that are not being caught right now. So people are not really trusting the motives behind arresting these people. But everybody that does something like what Epstein does should be held accountable, but they're usually not. Yeah. So the point is, if people could see a video or see a corruption and they're not going to do anything about it because of power that the group has, it's another problem. Yeah, look over here. Yeah. Yeah. Now there's a Celtic cryptids stem from the. Here we go. There is the Dobhar Chew, the known in Ireland Irish folklore as King Otter, is the creature said to lurk in remote lakes. Is described as the gargantuan hybrid of a dog and an otter with an aggressive, terrifying cry. The Olifest, the massive serpentine dragon from the Irish legends. According to myth, this creature was so huge that it was riding that its riding caved out on a channel for the River Shannon. The Kelpie, originating in Scotland, is a folklore shape-shifting water spirit. Usually takes the form of the horse, inhabits the lochs and pools, and it tricks travelers into mounting it before dragging them into the watery depths. What about Andrew, formerly known as Prince? Did you see his teddy bear collection? Bit sus. There's a picture of him from the Epstein files, and this man has like he was hovering over a child, and it's gross. So the Andrew dude, he may have been involved in some weird things, but he doesn't get arrested for anything. Yeah. Yeah, Andrew, formerly known as Prince. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, and see. That's the sky. It's a nice pink color. Like a Valentine's Day pink. That's what it's like. Imagine being born into the top 0.5% like that, ruining it. Yeah, you see, that is something that these people take for granted is that they're given, like, they're set for life. They have all the wealth and everything they need. And they can pretty much get whatever they want. And they go decide to do a creepy scavenger thing that, like, some troll would do. Yeah, Fall Guys. Yeah. Ruining all that in a blink of an eye is extremely cringe. And also think of your family and honor to your family or to your bloodline. It's like, people don't even care about any of that. Really messed up. Charity to look after kids, and they do the opposite. Oh yeah, a lot of times these charities, these organizations, they're actually just trafficking people and doing very wicked activities. To me, that is worse than what the other side does with them. And it's to be deception. Completely do deception about it is really messed up. Because the they would do better by following any specific religion rather than just inventing their own thing. Because a lot of these charities are disguised as something else. That's what I really believe is important, because people overlook that. $1 million to get you out of jail card. Oh yeah, exactly. Because if people can afford it, they'll get out of it. There was a dude that catches predators on YouTube. He was recently busted for kind of like harassment of the trespassing, and he was able to get out of it. And he was saying he was a multi-millionaire, and he can't be messed with. And now he's a meme, and he decided to embrace it. The multi-millionaire. So yeah, money definitely does talk and can get people out of different situations, like jail. What's crazy is how much of the charity money is out there doesn't actually go towards helping the cause. I think it was something crazy like 30 to 40% of the proceeds. Yeah, you're right, Brig. And the charities are a joke. I mean, they go and not really cure things a lot of times, and they want people to donate to them more and more, and all they're doing is making a monopoly out of it. I think it was something crazy like only 34% of the proceeds. And I know it's not all of them, but just wild how many of them have been undercovered. Yeah, and all you need is a little tiny bit just to make it really bad, because they don't want to make it obvious what they're doing. So they believed that was the way they did it, but that's how they get caught over time. Yeah. Oh yeah, many were uncovered. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, and household names. Places where charities that people would use all the time were the ones that were really causing a deception. A lot of times they want to use their money to help, or their influence to try to help protect their image. And I believe many things have been uncovered in general. Then they get it, put on correctly. Hilarious, Mark. You haven't seen Oprah for a while. Yeah, that. I remember that. I remember. I know what you're talking about. That stuff. Yeah. Yeah, and but a lot of the celebrities just full of a bunch of nonsense, and you don't really they're just really out of touch, and you don't really know what they're talking about. Something else about them that isn't really too hot, you know. It's just kind of like messed up. Oh, her. From my understanding, she seems pretty corrupted. Ellen. From, her employees don't really like her. There's a lot of people that had issues with her. Ellen has, she's done a runner. Scared, scared. Yeah, Ellen is a cryptid for sure. Yes, I definitely agree. Is a certainly is a entity from the Cthulhu legends, from Lovecraft stories. It's something that's trying to oppose itself as a human, but isn't. But it really is not. The way it looks, the way it talks. Yeah, Ellen's certainly a cryptid trying to be a human. It's undeniable. It's an undeniable fact. It's like the uh, the eyes and the behavior and everything is like something totally alien from our world. So yeah, Ellen DeGeneres is a cryptid of some sort, and not entirely certain about what the origins of that are, but they're from somewhere in the universe. I know about Steven Seagal. I've heard some mixed things about him. I remember one night my companion's woman from Germany was talking to me, and yeah, just the dude. Uh, he dodged the Vietnam War. His fighting is funny. I do agree. He's very comical to watch. I think he has like a bunch of kids, and stuff. He doesn't really do right with them. Apparently, what he did was he was with somebody in Japan, and he like cheated, apparently or allegedly. He's just a very controversial, interesting figure. His fighting styles are really out of this world, though. Yeah, he's the bodyguard of the century. He definitely, I think, might be with CIA. He knows Putin and the Russia well. Yeah, he might be something from them. Yeah, the CIA. Yeah, he's definitely could be a like the IMF. the like, Impossible Mission Force. That's something that he's probably into. And that's like a pink, rosy hue to the clouds right there. He's in Russia now. Okay. Yeah, I I'm not surprised. He was supposed to be a diplomat. He could be or negotiate with Putin and our side, and but he's just over there for right now. So he definitely could be some sort of a foreign asset or an asset for our side, or he definitely just likes being all over the place. Yeah, there was a I think Rodney. He's this basketball star. He's friends with Kim Jong Un, North Korea. Those stories are quite interesting. Okay, I will. I'll look it up. I said he's quite entertaining. Yeah, I remember one night we were reacting to his fight scenes. Like I think we're doing a plan one time, which we got to do at some point, of a Steve Siegel's live stream. He was in Belarus and it's just prime time Steven Seagal IRL. Okay, okay. I remember there was a movie I saw and somebody pulled like a shotgun on him and he just like took him out and he was just like juggling everybody around. Yeah, and he has like a signature move he uses and he just kind of floats around. Yeah. All right, and reverse psychology laugh at his fight style all the time. He's a hitman. Yeah, he could be. He definitely, from what I've seen about him, he could be some sort of a hitman, or some sort of agent like that. Yeah, because he definitely has those moves where he could do that, and he's like in these foreign countries, and we don't know exactly what he's doing. He definitely could be like a hitman for hire, or at least a bodyguard for somebody. Yeah, they could make a documentary about the mysterious life of Steve Seagal. Yeah, he definitely has that vibe to him. Yeah, yeah. Yeah. The government is secretly making a small army of Steve Seagal clones. Yes. Okay. So just like with Star Wars, there was a time where the Emperor of Darth Sidious was creating an army of clones for the for his empire, right? And there's a secretly somewhere there's a factory creating through different digital assets a complete Seagull clones. Maybe the AI modules that are around are they're projecting the consciousness of his moves inside those robots, because there are robots right now and that are fighting each other. Like you could put two robots in a ring, or you get a robot to try to fight something. They're testing out that concept. So they're using the AI modules to program his moves into that. To project his consciousness into that thing. So yeah. And then you might have clones of Steve, complete humanoid clones of him lined up, and they're all being created. That is happening, and they're just going to be all over the place. You're going to see him in Japan, in China, in France. So you're just going to see them everywhere. The whole army of them. Yeah, scared. But is Aikido black belt, nor don't think so, maybe paid for it? Hey, he could have. That's another one. Where it could be, what is smoke and mirrors and what isn't. Almost like a good magic trick. Yeah. But yeah, he definitely is. It is mysterious about if he has one or not, or did he fabricate one? Like, was he working with the IMF, the, the Mission Impossible people, and then he was able to fabricate it, or was he actually knowing it? It's something that is not even clear. I'm scared. I saw that robot kick a boy in the stomach. You see it? Oh, I saw it, Mark. I was on the. Um, I was browsing around, surfing the web, and I saw this kung fu uh, robot, a kung fu robot, and there was like this group of gathering of people, right? And it did this kick, and it kicked the kid in his stomach, and he was hurt. I've seen them kick a couple of different people, and then I saw this one robot that came out on a stage where there's people singing and having a concert of some kind in Asia, and this thing started doing the Spider-Man dance just right in front of everybody. It was like the ultimate troll, like a friendly troll, like a troll that you could just never block. It looked like it kicked him pretty hard too. Yeah, it was. You see, those things were programmed to do stuff like that, and especially for a little kid, it would be something real painful. And yeah, I mean, I'm sure hopefully got the help with it, healing. And that kid's gonna be traumatized for his whole life over that. That's something that is very true. And I've seen a couple of them. Like they'll be in the street and they'll just walk around and they'll fall over. And there's other times where it will just run and just spaz out and fall on its face. One time it fell in the street and got hit by a car, and then it just kept on rolling and rolling. Like, it was kind of crazy. So another time it ran into, it like walked into a pole and just completely spazzed out. I mean, there's a whole bunch of video of those robots, and there's robots in Asia that they're training to do. We saw that on the show before. I showed you all that when they're doing kung fu. Yeah, but anyway, there's instances of them fighting people or just or acting really spastic and stupid and just falling over. So it's pretty wild. Yeah. Elon is creating a bunch of robots too. He has like a whole robot factory creating robots like Star Wars, and they're apparently all good and not going to do anything wrong. So during the day, we look at this. It's quite big. This is similar to a sunflower. There's also these little robot things that can completely order, like people order food like in Cali, in like LA, right? In those places. Oh yeah, Mark, those dog robots do look scared. Scared. Yeah, I think it is really scared. And there's little cart things. You can go and order something like a pizza, right? And it brings it to you on this little crate, this little cart, and it's a robo cart that just delivers food. It's little. It's like the size of a little dog or something, and so they have that too going on. So yeah, the idea of the you know really Brig. Okay, so Brig says that saw a new drone made to delete mosquitoes. Oh, that's very cool. That's very cool. Yeah, I think it is absolutely good that they're using the technology to do stuff like that, because we definitely need them being taken out. All right, Rick says it's a small drone. All right, and Rick said it's a small drone that uses echolocation and just flies straight to the bug. Not sure how it's supposed to tell the difference between a mosquito and other bugs, though. Yeah, I agree. I agree. And the mosquito's so small, and I'm sure it'd be pretty effective when it's around a bunch of them, and or the other ones. Right? It could make a glitch and think it's another bug. That's something that's possible. You know, or it's programmed with AI modulation very intently to know the difference. Oh, I think there are, could be thousands of them up there. Because there's been satellites in the sky, in space, for a very long time, apparently. Now, when they go into space, you never see them hovering around Earth. Yeah, 20K. Or at least 80K. Yeah. But now, oddly, though, they don't ever show us when they're going around the Earth, though. Okay, Google says 14.5. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. 46K tracking objects in orbit, but less than 15K active satellites. Okay, thanks. Yeah, that makes sense. All right, so this is the morning sky. Right here. Yeah, and a lot of times when they take pictures of the moon or things in space, people get confused when they don't see other things that should be there, like the satellites that are orbiting the Earth. But yeah, well, I'm sure there's definitely tons of them. What the numbers that you're saying, what Google is saying, because they are certainly there in the sky. Because sometimes they could be seen at night in desolate places. It chimes. Yeah, the chimes are right here. Well, those are some birds actually, but here's the chimes right here. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, Mark, you could buy a satellite. Okay. See the chimes right there. All right. So yeah, those are the chimes, and that's a little. It's a little. That's a garden gnome house. I like to come through here, and they had the the gnomes and fairies, different things, and be roaming around. And yeah, it's also there are the birds too that are chirping as well. We also have birds, and let's see. The sun is coming shortly. Okay, so that is pretty cool. Let's see. Let's go over here. All right, it's not completely up yet, but it is trying to come up. You're welcome, Saw. See, that is the sun coming up soon. Right there. All right, and yeah, so it'll be coming up shortly. Sometimes with the satellites and the space junk, it will fall out the sky, and usually it falls in the ocean. There's more ocean than land. So it's statistically more likely that they're going to be falling that way than the other way. Yeah. Okay, and you see the glare of the sun. It's pretty cool. And daybreak, when it happens, it breaks through and just makes everything all sunny. So that is something fascinating about it. All right, Mark says satellite can zoom in where the crime was done, and if you push rewind, it'll show you where the odd car in the driveway came from. New tech. Oh, that's good. And they can figure out who did the criminal activity. The time of the serial killers like Ted Bundy and Charles Manson and those type of people, those murderers, is that although there's still people now getting away with crimes like that, those people would have been caught quicker if we had the technology we have now. Just So I'm glad that they have, advancing a technology more to catch people that are doing creepy things. Yeah. And, hopefully we'll have less instances of innocent people getting caught up in that. Look, there is Bubbles right there, cleaning himself. It's pretty cool. Yeah, he is just living his best life. Yeah, Bubbles is very sweet indeed, yeah. Okay, and these were the woods where Claude was earlier looking for his nighttime. I mean, his uh, food, hunting the tree rats in here. We saw him there earlier. And let's see if he's still over here by the chair. Be pretty cool to see. I know. Oh, look, he's right there. Oh, there's Claude right there. He's looking at his best friend. Shout out to Claude. A lot of memes can be made out of this. Yeah, so we have Claude in the morning. You'd think there'd be green cats or camouflage. Exactly, yeah. Yeah, hey to the Claudster. And the barking dog. Yes, he is in deep focus at something. His love and his affection for Bubbles. And he's staring at him because he's in love with his best friend. Right, and now he is snapped back to reality. It was Samuel, the angel. No, Azazel, the angel that did. It was a Timu. There is another Timu individual. There is a besides the angel. There is a dwarf that was from Timu, and I was like, all right, with all these mushrooms, that's what we got to do. Okay, Brig, he's a little bit nervous about Bubbles right here, so he didn't want to get jumped. That's why. The only two cats around here. They equal each other out because he knows that cat can fight. Look at that, okay? That's the sunrise right there. Here we go, sunrise in the morning. Oh, absolutely. That'll be done with the checkerboard zebra. Dude, do I have okra in the garden? Oh, I got a something to tell you then. Right here. Yeah, so that is the sunrise right there. First glimpse of it. All right, here we go. Look at that. Okra right there. Yeah, all this is okra. Also right there. Oh, yeah, it's all right. It's all good. Yeah. It's an okra flower. There's tons of them growing all over the place. That's a cucumber. Okra Winfrey. Oh, very nice breeze. Okay. It is daybreak. All right, there's the sun. All right. Hey, good morning, Mr. Sun, finally. Yeah. Scared. Thanks, Brig. Appreciate it. See, that Charlie Kirk case has to be the weirdest thing I've ever seen. Oh, I think it's very weird, Mark, with Charlie Kirk case. A lot of stuff, like, they better have the people in person and not on the Zoom call. Okay, it's some things like are not done right. They're showing a note on the screen, right? And then they said, "Oh, media has to just show audio only." Is this? Yeah, it's weird. Yeah. Uh, Now would be a cool time to start your time lapse photo. Set up a tripod in the same spot and take the photo at least once per month for a whole year. All right, that's a good idea. Thank you, Brig. Definitely. So shout out to Mr. Sun coming up. Have a great day, Brig. Thank you for hanging out with us. It was nice you got to come here for a little bit. It's in 4K. It was what Betty Johnson said. Yeah. Yeah, exactly, Mark. Yeah. That's a nice view right there. Absolutely saw, definitely. And the crow. Yeah, and very, nice and angelic son. Maybe they did and they didn't tell us anything. Oh, I definitely agree, Saw, that the UFO files have not really been showing a lot of explicit information that could be a telltale sign of, like, the stuff that they did show some information, but not the information that they could have shown that would have been really groundbreaking. So I'm really for real disclosure too. A lot of people are disappointed with what they're doing. Like, talk is cheap. They could say all these things, but they're not really bringing the results. It's cringe. I want to see the accounts of when they were getting the Roswell bodies and their alien bodies that are being removed. So Sorgo, you got the real disclosure about that from your uncle, and our own government doesn't. They just show us like a thing floating in the sky, and some account of somebody from 60 years ago that saw something strange, right? But the groundbreaking stuff is that there's a gray alien body that they recovered. Like, that's like groundbreaking stuff. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and the dude said it was a gray alien, and that had to be so trippy for that dude and his group when they were going to talk to expose that, like when they were going over there. It was something. They probably felt like they were in a dream, and I know those aliens give off some real weird vibes. So it definitely was something otherworldly to experience. I would be scared to put on a suit and make a fake video. That video has been debunked. The one. Yeah, I think that there are lots of fake ones and there are real ones. And I know that Skinny Bob needs a steak. Yeah. You see how it's shining through this? See, that's photosynthesis right there, what we're looking at. Okay, as I said, that is the peaceful sun right there. He's rising up. There's no marine layer here. There's a couple of ones that have been debunked, and some of them may be really real. Like the age of AI came out when all these weird videos of paranormal things and cryptids, and there's videos of cyclopses, there's videos of centaurs, and the thought is that maybe they really are real, and that the AI came out at the same time concurrently when the real videos are being released. They don't know which one is which. All right. That's more of the blue sky right there. Assault Girl, I plan on doing another stream later today. I don't know for certain if I am, but I think I will be able to do it. But definitely on Monday. We'll stream either Sarah Boone or something. Yeah, like we usually do. But yeah, I plan on doing another stream today, yes. I'll let you know. I in my opinion, I'll be able to do it. And actually, at this point in time, this stream has been concluded. So what that means is this stream will be ending. We made it to the sunrise. As it says, very nice and breezy. You have a beautiful day too, Saw. Thank you for coming. And thank you, Mark, and everybody that was lurking, watching, listening with us. I appreciate all of you for another fun Garden Live. Okay. Oh, hello, Passion. You just arrived at the right time. Yeah. Okay. All right, so Passion, before I go, this is the sunrise. I'll show you from another point of view. Here. So that's the sun, and it is coming through nice and easy right here. Through that direction. Yeah, right there. So yeah, that is the sun coming through. And see about the. Yes, I saw that about Andrew Tate. Yeah. And right here is the cucumber. Yes, I'll treat him well. Yes. All right, so that's a cucumber. That's another one coming. So it's exciting. More cucumbers are coming. And here are the okras. The okra plants are doing good. Sprouting. Here. Thank you, Passion. Yeah. Okay, and I'll show you the cats too. Okay, you got Pootsy right here. Over here we have Claude. So and that is our morning, and we got our bigger plants coming up here. So the whole garden is nice and healthy. Thank you, Passion. Glad that with the yeah, nice cucumbers indeed. All right. Okay, and Passion and Saw Girl. See you all later. Thank you for telling me the news, Passion, and